Hi, dear students. We are moving to another session that is hormonal regulation of blood glucose level. If I ask you what is the normal blood glucose level, you may tell me 80 to 120 milligrams per deciliter or 100 ml. Actually, during fasting, our blood sugar level should be under 100, that is 70 to 100 milligrams per deciliter. And after 2 hours of our meal, it should come back to 140 or less than 140. That is called a postprandial. And if you are a healthy individual, our body is capable of maintaining the blood glucose concentration within this narrow range, that is 70 to 100 milligrams per deciliter. In plasma, it is 80 to 120 milligrams per deciliter. What is the difference between blood and plasma? Plasma is the fluid part of blood which does not contain RBC, WBC, etc. Now, we can imagine two conditions. One, the blood glucose level is higher than the normal range. We call this condition as hyperglycemia. And if it is lower than the normal level, the condition is called hypoglycemia. Both are dangerous situations. So we need to maintain the narrow range of blood levels always. Now, when the blood sugar level goes to the higher side, if it reaches 180 mg per deciliter and goes beyond that, the body will try to eliminate the excess of this glucose through urine. This margin of 180 milligram per deciliter, it is referred to as renal threshold. And the condition in which glucose is excreted in urine is called glycosuria. There are certain factors, there are certain hormones which regulate our blood sugar level. The most important ones are insulin, which reduces the blood glucose level, and the opposite one, glucagon, along with epinephrine, glucocorticoids, thyroxine, growth hormone, and ACTH, adrenocorticotropic hormone, cause elevation of blood glucose level. Actually, insulin is a vital hormone in our body. Not only it has an impact on carbohydrate metabolism, but also on protein metabolism as well as lipid metabolism. You can see this normal range, and all these factors on the left hand side, they are sources of glucose to the blood. All this will contribute glucose into our blood. Of course, the dietary carbohydrates, then glycogenolysis, that is breakdown of glycogen. In skeletal muscles, it is converted into lactate. Lactate enters into gluconeogenesis and contributes to glucose in blood. Amino acids, they also undergo gluconeogenesis. We have already seen the sources, the precursors for gluconeogenesis. In that, we have seen glucogenic amino acids. So they also contribute to blood glucose level. Glycogenolysis in liver, of course. All these things will contribute glucose into blood. And how body will try to reduce the glucose level? Body will break down glucose through glycolysis for energy. It will convert glucose into glycogen for storing in liver, for synthesis of other monosaccharides like galactose or some others, and also for some amino sugars. Another percentage enters into HMP pathway for the synthesis of NADPH as well as pentose sugars like ribose, and the excess is converted into fat. You should know that all the excess glucose is not converted into glycogen and stored in the liver. There is a limitation for liver to store that much of volume. Still, excess of carbohydrate or glucose is converted into fat and it is stored in adipose tissue. You can see the normal range. So these are the hypoglycemic effect. That means blood glucose on the lower side, and this is the hyperglycemic factors, that is on the upper side. You can see the renal threshold here, above which the excess of glucose will be excreted in urine. We have seen glucose uptake increases, glycolysis increases, glycogenesis increases, HMP shunt increases, lipid synthesis increases. That means fat synthesis increases. All these things will increase. That means utilization of glucose is increased, and all these things will reduce glucose level, and they are governed by the hormone insulin. Same time, insulin will reduce gluconeogenesis, that is synthesis of new glucose, glycogenolysis, breaking down of glycogen. So all the things found here, it is influenced by insulin. On the other hand, hypoglycemic effect is given by glucagon, then epinephrine, thyroxine, glucocorticoids, etc. They all activate the pathways which increases the blood glucose level. That is gluconeogenesis, glycogenolysis, etc. Already seen. Also, the growth hormone and ACTH, they will reduce glucose uptake. That means from blood, tissues will not absorb glucose. That means it will contribute to hyperglycemic effect. Glucose utilization also decreases. Less glucose is utilized, that means more glucose is present in the blood. So these are the factors which affects the, these are the hormones which regulate the blood glucose level to kept in this narrow range. It is insulin and glucagon, epinephrine, thyroxine, glucocorticoids, growth hormone, as well as ACTH.